Peace family, how y'all doing? So I wanted to make this video kind of on the spot because I just found out today, or got reminded today, that Jupiter retrograde ends today. So what is that going to mean in general? First of all, Jupiter even going retrograde, is that what that already represents is that the energies of spirituality, of experiences, of broadening your perspective, of energies of opening up your third eye or your first eye or whatever you call it, being privy to things that are, beyond the things that we can see in the physical, and beyond the physical, signs that we see, the spiritual signs that we see throughout our life and everything, and just overall travel, and just overall abundance of either positive or negative, depending on what kind of energy your Jupiter is in. Now, with Jupiter being retrograde, this means that things will be pondered on. These things of spirituality, well, in this case, were being pondered on. They were being reflected upon, and energies of philosophy, spirituality, and opening up your third eye were being reflected on and pondered on, and even being worked on, being put on a routine. Because that retrograde energy, anything dealing with that R energy, routine, repetition, reversing your spirituality. Well, all that's coming to a halt right now in Capricorn, and Jupiter already falls in Capricorn, as we already know. So Jupiter falling in Capricorn, and now it's going direct. So these things, these philosophies that you may have been revisiting, that you thought were probably the right things to do and the right things to communicate about and the right things to experience, either one of two things: either you can realize that these things come into a halt, you can do a quick reflection and be like, okay, all that reflection I did, all that going back to the drawing board that I did, it ended up working for me and ended up going in my favor. Or on the other end, you could be experiencing bad luck and bad experiences based upon decisions that you made during this Jupiter retrograde. So just keep that in mind. And then with it being an earth sign like Capricorn, these things will definitely materialize and definitely appear physical right before your eyes. So you got to be very, very, very careful and reflect about the seeds that you planted during this whole retrograde period, and reflect, and regardless if you planted good or bad seeds, you still got to reflect, and you still got to let the record show that things can be still adjusted, because you still got time to adjust shit. And then with it being direct, things will move fast. So if you move quick with the planets, then the planets will do their energy in their favor for you. Pardon me. And then, depending on what house you have Jupiter in right now, depending on your ascendant, that will dictate kind of like the angle and the perspective that this energy will play out in your own life. Whether it's in the first house, meaning that your personality is going to be these things, these previous things, these things that you went back to the drawing board to expand on as far as personal issues or just things in your personal life. These things, you're either going to realize that these were bad seeds that were planted, or good seeds. But either way, you still got to know that you have time to still expand your personality, because Jupiter is still in that house right now. And then that energy still deals with expansion. So same thing with the second house. If you were reflecting on a spiritual meaning behind your possessions and your values and things dealing with money and barter and gain systems and gardening and planting seeds in general, then the things that you're thinking of now, these things, you're going to either want to continue to expand on these, or you're going to want to halt that and try to expand in something else relating to the energy of that house. If it wasn't money, maybe it's gardening. If it wasn't gardening, maybe it was, like building a house. And then the same thing with the third house too. If you had this going on in the third house, and etc., well, the third house would be dealing with, your immediate social surroundings. So you're either going to want to reflect and be like, okay, do I still want to stay in this particular area that I'm familiar with, or do I want to literally expand my horizons and jump into my ninth house and travel to lands that I'm not familiar with? So I hope this video was helpful. Email me at betheall1112@gmail.com for anything from a free reading to even possibly a guitar sample. Not even possibly, but go ahead and hit me up if you want that. Peace.